YouTube? DSkey from DSkey Grills back with another cooking video. And today we'll be making a Tomahawk Ribeye on the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill using the Slow and Sear. Can't wait to show you this cook. I am so excited because I finally received this Tomahawk Ribeye from Matador Prime Steaks. This is a 3.5 pound hunk of beautiful goodness. Look at the marbling on this thing. It has to be at least 5 inches thick. And I'm going to do like always, take it to the cutting board, show you how we're going to season this up. It's going to be simple. We want to taste the flavor of the beef. We're going to get this baby on the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. We're going to get a chance to play around with the Slow and Sear, which I've used all the time on my 22.5 inch kettle. So we'll use the upgraded version for the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill today. The ingredients we'll be using will be salt, pepper, and garlic. We'll be using a little parsley. And at the very end, before we put it on the grill, we will hit it with a steak rub. So again, take it to the cutting board, let you see what we're going to do. Then we'll head out there and get this beautiful, beautiful steak on the grill. Thanks for joining me. Let's get cooking.
Okay, YouTube, it's seasoning time. So what I'm going to do, and you see me now, is hit this tomahawk on one side with a nice portion of olive oil. So I want to definitely get that oil on as a binder. Next thing we're going to do is coat it with a mixture of salt, pepper, garlic, and parsley. So I'm going heavy on both sides of this tomahawk. I mean, remember, this is 3.5 pounds of meat, about 5 inches thick. So you can't over season this baby. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna flip it over next. So after I flip it over, we'll do the exact same thing. We hit it with the olive oil, and then we come back again with the salt, pepper, and garlic mixture on the other side. Now what you don't want to do is forget about the sides of the tomahawk as well. So you'll see me roll the sides on the cutting board to try to pick up all of the seasoning that may have fell on the cutting board and to season the edges of this tomahawk. So that's what we're doing here. So what I'm going to do in the next clip is add not fresh parsley, I'm sorry. We're going to add parsley to this as well. Okay, YouTube, so what we're doing now is hitting it with the dry parsley. We'll do that on both sides, and then we'll let this ribeye rest and get up to room temperature. Next thing you'll see is us mixing up our garlic parsley butter spread. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, let's make the garlic and parsley butter spread. So what we're going to start with is the Parquet squeezed butter. I like to use this. It's really, really perfect for mixing up different spreads for steaks. And then the next thing you see will be our chunky garlic paste. This is fresh garlic that's already been minced up into a paste. So I use that. Another quick way to help get a quick spread together to go over this steak. Last but not least, we will use the dry parsley flakes and add that to our container as well. So after that, I'm just going to give it a good mix and let that sit as well. And the next thing we'll do is head out to the grill and check out our grill setup for this awesome tomahawk cook. Okay, YouTube, let's check out the grill setup. So what I have is the Slow and Sear low profile for the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. I filled it up about 3/4 of the way with charcoal that I used in a previous cook because this thing is so efficient. It just keeps the charcoal. You can use it 2 or 3 times. So look how well it fits right there. Next thing we'll do is light the chimney. Okay, YouTube, time to light the chimney. So what I'm going to do is pour about 20 to 30 briquettes in the chimney, and then we'll use a fire cube and light this chimney. Once these coals ash over, we'll add them to the Slow and Sear and then close the lid and let it get up to temperature. From there, we'll head back into the cutting board. We have another ingredient to add to our tomahawk steak. So we got this thing lit. Now meet me inside. Let me show you what else we're going to add to the steak. Okay, YouTube, let's hit it with the steak rub. So what I'm using today is Killer Hogs brand steak rub. This is a hearty steak rub that I'm going to put on both sides of the ribeye. And what I'm doing with this steak rub helps you develop an awesome bark when you're searing. So you know what we're going to do. We're going to hit this thing on both sides with the steak rub. And when we take it out on the grill, we're going to get the perfect sear on both sides. And you'll see that bark forming as we're searing. So I wanted to share that with you. I'll put a link in the description so you can see where to purchase this steak rub. But it is a very, very good rub. Same thing, I'm going to try to get it on the sides as well. I don't want to leave off the sides. What we're going to do is head back out in just a second. Our coals should be about ashed over, and then it's going to be about time to get this grill started in a minute. So let's head back outside and I'll show you some more stuff we got going on. There's a big thumbs up. Okay, YouTube, it's time to add the coals. So what we have is the chimney has ashed over, so we're going to add that to our slow and sear, and then let these hot coals heat up all the rest of the coals that are in the slow and sear. What I plan on doing now is adding the drip and griddle pan to the right side of the grill. In previous videos, I've used the drip and griddle pan for keeping gunk out of my grill, so it's perfect for catching drippings, but it's just as well for using as a griddle. So you could cook bacon, you could make eggs, you could make pancakes, whatever you wanted. But what I'm doing is just adding foil to it because I want to protect it and try to keep the grill and my pan as clean as possible. So we're adding a lining of foil to the drip and griddle, and then we'll close the lid up, let this grill get up to temperature, and I'm shooting for around 600 degrees. I'm putting the grill grate back on. We're adding our grill thermometer so we can kind of probe and see where our temperature's at. Next thing you see, we'll be getting this steak on the grill. Okay, YouTube, the moment we've been waiting for. It's time to sear. Check out the grill at 600 degrees. It is hot. That slow and sear is doing its job right now. So what I'm going to do now is open it up. We've already brought our beautiful Tomahawk Ribeye out. Now we're going to go ahead and add it right on those hot bed of coals. So the idea here is to get the tomahawk in place. Once it's in place, then we don't want to move it anymore. We want to leave it right there. So I'm pressing down now. And what I'm trying to do is make sure I press down and put it in a spot where it's going to stay for 4 to 5 minutes. That direct heat is what you're looking for. So stay tuned. Next thing we'll do is actually flip this beautiful ribeye over. Okay, YouTube, let's flip this tomahawk. So what I'm going to do now, it sat on that one side for 4 to 5 minutes. Now we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing. I'm going to press it down. Now the reason I pressed it down is not only to keep it in place, but for it to cook evenly. I want beautiful sear marks. Look at the bark that has developed on that one side. So you'll see me pressing it down, just making sure it's in place, and then we'll let it go for another 4 to 5 minutes on this side. What you'll see next would be us going to the indirect. But hey, this cook is going well. Okay, YouTube, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the awesome high heat production. This combo of the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill and the Slow and Sear XL is holding these temps at this 540 degree mark. It's just searing beautifully. Nothing's moving. Our heat is sustained, which ultimately gives you a better end result. I mean, your cook is going to be the way you want it to be. You're going to have the moistness on the inside, the charredness on the outside. I just thought I'd share it with you. I love this combo. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, time to cook indirect. So what we've done is 5 minutes on both sides. Now it's time to move this tomahawk over to the indirect side of the grill and let it start working on getting the internal temperature where we want it. There's a big thumbs up. We are shooting for 155 degrees. We'll let it sit over here, and then what we'll do next is add our probe thermometer so we can start checking internally and seeing how this ribeye is going. Okay, YouTube, time to add the meat thermometer. So what you'll see me doing is add the meat probe. So I'm adding the meat probe into the thickest part of this tomahawk ribeye. So the reason behind this is I want to make sure I get the right internal temperature. And again, that is 155 degrees for a medium well that we're shooting for. So what I'm going to do next is close the lid. And in the next segment, I'll talk a little bit more, go into a little bit more detail about digital thermometers and internal temperatures. Okay, YouTube, let's talk internal temps. So what I'm using is my Maverick digital thermometer. And what you can see is the grill temperature is on the bottom at 372. And the internal temperature of the ribeye is 54 degrees. So what we're shooting for is a perfect medium well, which would be around 155 to 160 degrees. So you can see that. The top's 54 internal temp of the meat, 375 grill temperature. So what we're going to do now is just, I'll continue monitoring that. You can look on the table. I have the probe going back and forth. 54 degrees, as you can see. and then the heat is moving up. We have 424 degrees internally. So this thing will be at 155 degrees before you know it. I just wanted to show you that. There's a big thumbs up. We are enjoying this cook today. Okay, YouTube, time to add the garlic and parsley butter spread. So that's the spread that we mixed up inside the house at the cutting board. So what I'm doing is liberally adding this on the top of this steak. So the internal temperature now is around 100 degrees. So I wanted to go ahead and get one coat of this spread on. Then we'll close the lid up, let it do its magic, and start soaking in and just adding more flavors, more layers of flavor that is, to this awesome tomahawk ribeye. So that's what you see me doing. What we'll do in a second is we'll add yet another coat of this goodness to the steak. So stay tuned. We will hit it again with another coat. There's a thumbs up. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, one more coat should do the trick. So we've let this steak rest on this side, cooking indirect for about 5 minutes. It already soaked in that first layer of that garlic, parsley, and butter spread. So we're going to add one more generous coat and let that soak in. From there, when we come back, what we'll do is start checking our internal temps. I'm going to let this sit for about another 5 minutes again. Again, looking at the steak, now we're up to about 110, 111 degrees. So it's coming along well. So we're not worrying about time. We're worrying about internal temps. So when you're doing that, you don't have to worry about a timer. Just keep watching your digital thermometer until you reach that desired temperature. Okay, YouTube, let's check out the perfect medium well. So what I'm going to do now is use my thermal probe. And remember, we're shooting for 155, no more than 160 internally. We are there. Watch this baby move up. We are right where we want to be. So what I'm going to do now is pull it off the grill, put it on the cutting board, let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then I got a surprise. We're going to add some cool veggies to this grill. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube. Grilled asparagus, anyone? So what we're going to do now to go with the perfect ribeye, we are going to add some awesome fresh veggies. So what I did is I soaked these asparagus in a mixture of sea salt, pepper, and balsamic vinaigrette dressing. I let that soak for about 25 minutes. Now we're adding them to the indirect side of the grill. We'll let them cook on this side for about 4 minutes, and then we'll introduce another veggie to this grill to complement this awesome ribeye. So stay tuned. Let's see what we're going to add next. Okay, YouTube, welcome back. Let's add some fresh tomatoes to the grill. So what I have is 2 fresh Roma tomatoes. What I'm going to do is let them cook on the indirect side for about 4 minutes. Then we're going to cook them directly over the grill. I'll let you watch as we grill these tomatoes right over the hot coals. And we'll listen to a little music while these veggies come together. Shouldn't take any more than about 10 minutes and it'll all be ready. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, let's check out the final product. So what I'm doing is cutting right along the side of the bone. Look how beautiful and succulent this ribeye is. Perfect medium well. So what I'm going to do is just show you how juicy it is, and then we're just going to cut it in slices. So that's what you see me doing. It is cutting like butter. This tomahawk ribeye is awesome. I love the marbling that the meat had. Matador Prime Steaks is an awesome place to pick up these tomahawks. So what I'm going to do after cutting this beautiful ribeye is just kind of send you off with a beautiful picture of the cutting board. We're going to add these tomatoes and the asparagus to the cutting board, and this thing is a picture perfect meal. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to my channel. And remember, at D-Ski Grills, grilling isn't a pastime, it's a passion.